Hi book lovers, and welcome back to a brand new video to the Life of the Showgirl era. And I'm not only combining like two of my favorite things, but two things that actually go so well together, and that is books and Taylor Swift songs. I'm going to give you 12 book recommendations for each song of the Life of a Showgirl, and I am so excited for this. You have no idea how much time I spent on getting the right book for each song. Like, I overthink this way too much. But I felt like I had really amazing book recs for the Total Poets department and also the anthology. Like, they just matched so well. Also, how crazy is that I have my book channel for 2 Taylor Swift albums now. I'm overexcited to share these book recs with you because I feel like I did a pretty good job. And I also tried to never have repeats of authors or like specific book series, so they're all different ones. I'm so proud of myself that I only picked one book for each song, because last time I sometimes chose a couple and I was like, no, we're doing 12 books, 12 songs, because as Taylor said, this is a very well accumulated album. So I listened to her and I was like, I'm also not going to overdo it. And also let me know what you think of the album. Like, I love this. I don't really understand how people don't like it. I love that it's so different from the Tortured Poets department. I love the upbeat. I love everything about this. So for the Fate of Ophilia, I chose A Court of Mist and Fury. And guys, you don't know how often I thought of like books that I think would fit some of these songs, but I haven't read them yet. And actually A Court of Silver Flames, I feel like would be perfect for Eldest Daughter, but because I haven't read that one yet, obviously I couldn't choose it. So I had to like choose one of my other babies for one of these songs. And honestly, like the lyrics, it fits so well, guys. It seems like everyone already read this series, but since there are people who still haven't read this, I'm not going to spoil you. But in the first book, so this is the second one, you follow Farah, who's kind of taken in by this fairy, and it is a little bit of Beauty and the Beast retelling. She gets very traumatized by everything that happens basically in book one. So in this book, she's not feeling too great at the beginning, and she definitely, like, she is drowning, guys. She is drowning, and Reason definitely honed in his powers to save her from the fate of Ophelia, and it's just like, it is so fitting. Like, even just the beginning of the song, you want to see me all alone, as legend has it, you are quite the pyro, you light the match to watch it blow, and if you'd never come for me, I might have drowned in the melancholy. Right before you lit my sky up, all the time I sat alone in my tower, you were just honing in your powers. Yes, now I can see it all. Don't care where the hell you've been, because now you're mine. But love was a cold bed full of scorpions, the venom stole her sanity, and if you'd never come for me, I might have lingered in purgatory. You wrap around me like a chain, a crown, a vine. Oh, like, the more I read this, I understand why people say this is the Fate of Ophilia, because it just is. And even with the bridge, this locked inside my memory and only you possess the key, no longer drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. Like, just the entire song, basically, this book. And again, if you haven't read it yet, I would highly suggest you read it. This is A Fate of Ophilia. Okay, next song is Elizabeth Taylor, and I'm probably the only person who's not going to say The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, not because I think it's not a match. It 100% is a match, because Evelyn Hugo is also based on the character, or like inspired by the character Elizabeth Taylor, so yes, it's a match. But I haven't read that book yet, so I can't really give it out as a recommendation. So I had to like find another one that I feel like would still fit this. And the one that I chose is Dream On, Ramona Riley. This is a small town romance, but she is a Hollywood star, and she actually also has famous parents. And she is not really Hollywood sweetheart. Like, she definitely has a little bit of a bad, wild image in Hollywood, and she wants to change that, and her opportunity is to play in this movie that is like very charming and small town. That's why they also go to this small town, very like Girl Next Door vibes. And there she meets the waitress Ramona Riley, and Ramona actually had big dreams, but she had to come home because her mother either left or passed away, and she had to like sort of take over, raise her sister, help her dad out. So she left, you know, all her dreams and college behind, and is still in this small town. And why I think this really fits the vibe of the song, let me tell you, because oftentimes it doesn't feel so glamorous to be me. All the right guys promised they'd stay, under bright lights they withered away. It's because Dylan, our movie star here, definitely experiences more the bad side of Hollywood, and that most people only like want to be with her because they want something from her and they don't actually like or love her. And even Be My NY, When Hollywood Hates Me, I feel like and why in this case would be the small town and, you know, like Ramona obviously. And along the same lines would also be, hey, what could you possibly get for the girl who has everything and nothing all at once? Baby would trade the cardio for someone to trust. We hit the best booth at Musa and Frank's. They say I'm bad news, I'm just saying things. Like, it's just very the dynamics of these two. And what I also like kind of their dynamics is that Ramona isn't necessarily super scared of her being famous or that that's a world she doesn't want, because she also actually wants to be part of that world, like wants to be, I think it's like a costume designer. So, you know, both kind of want that sort of life of a showgirl, even if it didn't always treat them right. So yeah, I'm very happy with my book choice for Elizabeth Taylor. Then we come to Opalite, which also such a banger. And I feel like Opalite is just a very like happy love song that would fit so many romance books. Like, this is just such a romance book in a song. And I feel like that's why I could have chosen a lot of different books for this. And I went a little bit different with my recommendation for this one. I want to actually like match the vibes of this song, because I feel like that's just perfect for Opalite. And the book I chose that is like very the vibes of Opalite is The Score by Elle Kennedy. I feel like Dean, our hero from The Score, kind of just gives me like Travis vibes. It's also a sports romance, it's ice hockey. We basically have like a friends with benefits situation going on, and this book is just, it is so much fun. I think that's the best way to describe the book. I mean, the whole off-campus series is very, very fun, but my two favorites are definitely The Deal and The Score. And I feel like The Score is just, I don't know, especially Dean. Like, Dean is perfect for this song. But obviously there's also some matching lyrics for this book. And even just... And all the perfect couples said, when you know, and when you don't, you don't. I just picture the other couples saying that to them, because The Score is the third book in the series, so we have already some perfect couples who definitely can tell, hey, when you know, you know. And I feel like Ellie is also just a girl that loves love, and definitely has been dancing through some thunderstrikes. It definitely fits, and I feel like if you want the vibe of Opalite, please read The Score or reread it, because it's just so much fun. Okay, next up we have one of my favorite songs, and that is Father Figure. Oh, that song is so great, but it did give me a hard time to like match a book for it. However, I feel like I found really, really great matches actually, because then it kind of like hit me that I actually did read this kind of like dynamic, and it is the one time where I recommend more than one book, but it's because it's a series and we actually get it twice in that series, and that is The Crowns of Nyxeria. Oh my god, by Carissa Broadwind. It's very difficult for me to read out these names. We basically have two duologies in this series, and there are some novellas, but I mainly mean the two duologies. And the first duology is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Well, that's the first book, and you definitely get the father figure character in there, and it's so fitting. We basically have our main character being taken in as a young child by this king from this one vampire realm, and because she is human, she is very vulnerable, and he like trains her and wants her to become stronger so she can defend herself, and therefore she has to like go into this like huge trials where by the end, if she wins, she gets granted a wish by the gods. But she as a human girl needs to compete against other vampires, so the king and sort of her like definitely like father figure, because he's the one that sort of raised her. I feel like he matches the vibes of the song so well, especially the whole part where like I protect the family, because they are sort of their own family. It is a very complicated relationship, and actually one of my favorite things about Carissa Broadwind's books are the sort of like father figure or like the mentee-mentor like relationship dynamics, because again she also has that in her other books that I will talk about in a second. But it is like, it shows just how like how many shades there are, how complicated it is, and it's not just black and white and a straightforward answer. And I love that in her books, and I love the pacing. It is very well balanced between romance and fantasy. But one of the best characters is definitely the king and sort of the father figure here. And lyrics that fit this really well are, when I found you, you were young, wayward, lost in the cold, pulled up to you in the jag, turned your rags into gold. The winding roads leads to the chateau, because she lives in the castle now with the king. And what I find also very like hard-hitting is, you remind me of my younger me. I saw potential, because if you know, you know, especially after the ending of the first book, like it's such a great fit. So I'm really happy with this book fit. And the other one that I also wanted to mention is within the same series, so I'm going to count this all as like one book rec, but is The Songbird in the Heart of Stone. And this one follows different characters, and our main character, I think her name is Misha, you already like know her from the first books, and you know that she was a human turned vampire now, and she has a very special relationship with one of the gods, but the god of sun, I think, which is normally not associated with the vampires, but now she's a vampire, and she didn't want to abandon her god, even though it hurts her to worship this god. And in her book, the god actually wants her to go on this mission and do these things for him in order to like gain his trust again, have this relationship that like all she wants. And like it is also such a great like father figure dynamic, and like fits this song so well. And I actually have different lyrics from the same song that I feel like fit this a little bit more. All I ask for is your loyalty, my dear protege. Like it is so fitting. But also on foolish decisions which led to misguided visions, that to fulfill your dreams you had to get rid of me. Like I feel like, especially, I haven't read the second book yet, but it fits this story so well. So I think Carissa Broadwin is just the winner for like giving us really great father figure characters and these kind of vibes. So yeah, I'm so happy with this book rec for the song. Okay, next up we have Eldest Daughter, and I actually had so many different like book recs for this, because I feel like the eldest daughter is what I love in a main character, like someone who pretends to be very strong and cool and is more of like an ice queen, but she does have like a soft side and like just needs someone to get close to become vulnerable in front of them and like put her walls down. Like I love that type of character. And while I was so conflicted who to choose, like Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey was a very strong contender, I actually chose Rose Calloway. And I know she's technically not the eldest daughter, but within that series, she just is so giving eldest daughter energy, and I feel like the whole chorus with her being so protective and I'm never gonna let you down is so Rose Calloway coded that I couldn't not put her on here. So technically it's the first book of the Calloway Sisters series, but I would always recommend reading the whole Addicted series together. So you first go into the Addicted books, or the first three, and then you get to Kiss the Sky is I think the first one, and you've got amazing like rivals to lovers. They're both just so superior, I have to say. I think they're also my favorite couple. And basically the Calloway sisters, or actually almost all these characters, come from very, very rich families, and in her first book she signs this contract that they have a reality TV show on their lives, and basically imagine something like the Kardashians, and she experiences firsthand how harsh and awful the internet can be. Like the last thing that I said was that I wanted to give you matching lyrics for The Eldest Daughter for Rose Calloway. Oh my god, I'm so pissed at myself right now. But anyway, I'm still excited to give you the rest of these book recs. And why I think Rose Calloway fits Eldest Daughter really well is especially the lyrics at the beginning. Everybody's so punk on the internet, everybody's unbothered till they're not. Every joke is just trolling and memes, sad as it seems, apathy is hot. Everybody's cutthroat in the comments, every single hot take is cold as ice. When you found me, I said I was busy, that was a lie. And I feel like this is also the reason why I chose her, because in her book, she experiences the bad side of, being on the internet, and in like the worst way ever. So I think this is just very fitting. And as I said, also with the chorus, but I'm not a bad bitch and this isn't savage. I'm never gonna let you down. I'm never gonna let you down. Like, it's just her to a T, because she is so loyal to the people she loves. It's definitely giving Eldest Daughter vibes. So let's talk next about Ruin the Friendship, which is one of my favorite songs. And I was so confident in giving you my book rec, The Wingman by Stephanie Archer, but then I got all the books and realized that I actually picked another Stephanie Archer book, and I didn't want to do repeats for authors. However, I had a few recommendations for this, because Ruin the Friendship is basically the song for the trope friends to lovers, and maybe throw in a little bit of second chance. And I think that this book is actually such an amazing match, and that is Every Summer After, because you've got the whole friends to lovers part, you also got the second chance part. And I remember specifically, and maybe that's just because it's more of a recent book, but I remember how he said to her, I don't want to ruin this friendship. And that's why I think this is just the best fit for the song, because he actually says it, and they they don't do anything because of that. And obviously Ruin the Friendship also talks about like, you know, a teenage love and that crush and, you know, going to the prom and all of that. And I feel like because we get like the flashbacks in Every Summer After where they were like kids or teenagers and you see them like having a crush, and it just, I think, yeah, this is just a great book for Ruin the Friendship, and I'm very happy that I did make the swap last minute. And as I said, the song is just basically a friends to lovers trope. So I feel like that one line in the song just like really encapsulates that, and that is, staying friends is safe doesn't mean you should. Like, this just stands for every friends to lovers romance really out there. So let's get to actually romantic, which I think is the opposite and actually stands for the trope enemies to lovers. And I have the perfect book recommendation for that, and the reason why I couldn't use Wingman for the other one, because Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer is the perfect actually romantic, because these two really start out as enemies and they are not nice to each other. They say a lot of mean things, think mean things about each other. And I mean, actually romantic is about, you know, this like person who invests so much energy and so much time and effort into not liking you or hating you that it is actually romantic how much attention you give me. So this is just the perfect fit, but it's actually sweet all the time you spend on me. It's honestly wild, all the effort you put in. It's actually romantic, really gotta hand it to you. No man has ever loved me like you. Like, yes, this is them to a T. The same with the bridge. You think I'm tacky? Like, yes, he thinks that. Stop talking dirty to me. It sounded nasty, but it feels like you're flirting with me. I mind my business, God's my witness, I don't provoke it. It's kind of making me wet. Like, this is so perfect for them. I feel like this is such a good match. And if you haven't like picked this up or this series, I mean, they're interconnected standalone, so you could pick it up on its own, but I would recommend the entire series. But this one is like, this is my favorite Stephanie Archer book actually. This is also a marriage of convenience, so there's a lot of forced proximity and why these two like learn more about each other, and maybe that there's more to the other person than what they think of them. And this is so good. And if you want actually romantic vibes, please pick up Gloves Off. Next up we have Wishlist, and I feel like Wishlist is also just a very love song, so I could have matched so many romance books with this. However, I do think that I picked the one that just fits it so good, guys. Like, I'm so happy about these book recs. Yeah, like, I also spent way too much time like accumulating this list, but I have to like pat my own shoulder. I'm sorry. Like, please also let me know in the comments, but I'm very proud of these book recs. Anyway, Wishlist. If you want these vibes, please read The Right Move. This, especially from like Ryan's perspective, is just, it's the perfect fit, because Ryan is this like really popular basketball player, and he basically thinks he can't do anything wrong. He only really spends time in his apartment in the skyscraper because, you know, wherever he goes, he's like being watched, and he like thought he had it right once with this other person, and it didn't match. He's basically all alone in his tower right now. And then Indy enters his picture, and Indy is his sister best friend, and she needs a place to live right now because she broke up with her boyfriend, so they become roommates. And because of some circumstances, they also have to fake date. And like, if I like tell you the lyrics right now, especially if you read this, because this is like such a popular book for good reason. Like, this is one of the best sports romances out there, 100%, and it has the best found family ever in like contemporary romance. So I would highly suggest picking this up. But if you read this already, like, see how well this fits. I just want you to have a couple kids, have the whole book looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the fuck alone, and they do. Wow, got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball hoop. Like, this is just Ryan. And also the bridge. I made wishes on all of the stars. Please God, bring me my best friend who I think is hot. Them. I thought I had it right once, twice, but I did not. And if you read it, like, this line hits different. You caught me off guard. I hope I get what I want, cause I know what I want. Boss up, settle down, got a wish list, and I just want you. I just like, this is just so like Ryan coded, and he is one of the best boyfriends ever. So if you haven't read this yet, this is so worth it. Next up we have Wood, and never did I think I could match a book like that to a Taylor Swift song, but there was an opportunity and I had to take it. So If you listen to a song that is a little bit more horny and you want a horny book, I recommend the Ice Planet Barbarian, like the entire series, for this song. She had fun with the song is fun to listen to, and if you want fun in a book, the Ice Planet Barbarian, because you know, these ladies get kidnapped from Earth and dropped off in this other planet with aliens, and their magic wand knows some different magic, has some different benefits, so they just needed the touch of that, and there was no need to be superstitious again. So this is not the most deep book recommendation, but I just had to. I also kind of wanted to like maybe match Bride by Ellie Hazelwood with this, and would fit as well. But I thought, you know what? When will I ever match this again, you know? So I just had to, and have fun with it. Then we've got Cancelled, and it's my favorite. This is my favorite song on the album. Like, this is my clear number one. From like the first listen, I was like, yes, this is just my song. I love that song so much. So I'm so happy to tell you that I matched it with one of my favorite books, one of my most recent obsessions, and I feel like, you know, like, you probably can comment right now what you think I'm gonna match Cancel to. Yeah. I'm gonna match it to the Mindfuck series, and I'm so glad I was able to match this to a song. But I feel like the vibe, or like what I picture when I listen to this song, is like this, you know, like queen in her underworld who, you know, sort of reigns, but has just like all these other friends there with matching scars. And I don't know, I just have such a vivid mind in my head, and it's a song for Lana, but also her and like Hadley. I mean, if you've read the book series, as I said, like I love the sort of found family you do get, and especially their relationship is like giving me Cancel vibes. The Mindfuck series is basically about this serial killer, Lana, who starts dating the FBI agent Logan, who is on her case, but they don't know that. And it is dark romance, but don't let this deter you, because it's definitely not as dark, and it's such an addictive read, and you will understand why she kills. Like, that's all I'm saying. And you are going to be on Lana's side, and you want to protect her. And let's just say, but they'd already picked out your grave and hers, beware the wrath of masked crusaders. That's Lana's past. And other lyrics that fit this: come with me, when they see us, they'll run. Something wicked this way to come. Good thing I like my friends Cancelled. Welcome to my underworld, where it gets quite dark. At least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars. Like, oh, so good, guys. And also later on, we'll take you by the hand, and soon you'll learn the art of never getting caught. Because, yes, can't you see my infamy loves company? Now they've broken you like they've broken me, but a shattered glass is a lot more sharp. And yes, they broke her. She's shattered glass, but wow, she's so much more sharp now. It's just a very great fit. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I think about this book series so often, and I will definitely listen to Cancel when I reread it at some point. All right, next up we have Honey. And again, I feel like Honey just generally fits a lot of romance books. And I thought, since Honey is about like nicknames and obviously how others use it in like a mean way, but I actually wanted to like highlight nicknames, because I feel like nicknames is quite a like important thing in romance books, and I feel like the wrong nickname also can like really, you know, kind of give me like the ick in a romance book, even though I love it. So I wanted to highlight an author that I feel like always gives out like unique or different nicknames, and I think in all the books I've read by her, and there's quite a few of them, she hasn't used the same nickname twice. So I want to recommend a book by Anna Huang, because all her book boyfriends give very unique nicknames, and I actually decided to go with King of Sloth. I kind of wanted to first go with Twisted Hate by her, because there he calls her Red, and she does think at the beginning it's like a mean way, but because Twisted Hate is more like enemies to lovers, and that song Honey doesn't really give me enemies to lovers vibes, I decided on King of Sloth. And I feel like this also really fits, because I can just see Sloan, our main character, who is more of like, you know, this like ice queen. She doesn't really want to be vulnerable. She's this like power woman that other people would use those terms to like, you know, be like mean to her. Xavier calls her Luna for a very sweet reason. I just wanted to highlight Anna Huang with her nicknames for this song. And that already brings us to our last song and book rec. And I feel like The Life of a Showgirl, first of all, love the song. And there are some obvious choices like Daisy Jones and the Six or even A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I think I'm going to give you a book rec that you didn't really know before, except maybe if you've seen some of my videos, but it is so fitting, guys. And that is The Ballerinas by Rachel Capel-Dell, something like that. And this is such a great book. It is, I think, like not really a thriller, maybe a mystery, but I'm telling you guys that this is so layered. This is about friendships. This is about women. This is about, you know, ballet, what it portrays, what, you know, it takes to like be an athlete at such a high stakes and just how cutthroat you have to be. And that's where like sort of the life of a showgirl, I feel like, comes in. Like, I can't recommend this book enough because I think it is incredibly written. I love that it's not a black or white situation, and you basically follow these three women that go to the Paris Opera Ballet School, and you follow them from when they were young and, you know, like sort of looking at the other dancers on stage and we're like, oh, I want to be this dancer at some point. And, you know, they have these dreams, but it is such a hard life. And you follow them into adulthood and where they are today in the present day. You know that something happened, but you don't, like, you're discovering with the book what it is. And lyrics that I think are so fitting is, I bought a ticket, she's dancing in her gardeners and fishnet, 50 in the cars, 0 missteps, looking back, I guess it was kismet. Like, that is so fitting for, you know, the ballet setting. And as I said, also the chorus is so fitting because you can't be soft, you can't be sweet like a peach, you know. It's just another opportunity to ask you guys to like give this book a shot because it's incredible. And especially now in like the fall winter season, perfect. So there you've got it, guys. Like, these are my 12 book recommendations for the 12 songs of the life of a showgirl. I feel like I did a really good job. Like, please let me know in the comments what you think. And I mean, definitely also praise me because I spent a ridiculous amount of time getting these book recommendations right. And you can praise me by giving me a like, a comment, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe as well. And usually I would say now I'll see you in the next video, but you know we're going to do this outro right. I'll see you guys in my next video.